chat box over to the right-hand side of your screen, where you can engage directly with our team and ask your advertising-related questions. We also have handouts available for download directly below the session viewing window to help you find more resources to continue learning about Amazon ads. Lastly, I want to remind everyone that if for any reason they want to switch between sessions or join the next session after this one has ended, all you need to do is navigate back to the agenda and click on the relevant session to start watching. And with that, we'll be moving on to our demonstration. If you just bear with me for a second, I will be now entering the advertising console where we'll be performing this demonstration for you. So please bear with me for a second. I am switching my screens right now. And I hope my advertising console is now available for your viewing. So let's start off with the basics. This is the advertising console. Here I can create campaigns and also I can create portfolios. Now, if I would be interested in finding a bit more about any of the KPIs that are listed here in relation to the campaigns that I have already created, all I have to do is hover over this little eye icon, which will give me some more information. We call these information points. Now, it's also important to remember that if you'd like to see some more KPIs that will help you assess the successfulness of your campaigns, all you have to do is click on Columns, Customize Columns, and here you can select which specific KPIs will be visible in this section. So, for example, I could add clicks, I could also add the ACOS, advertising cost of sales, I could add the cost per click, and of course I could also add impressions. So after selecting all these categories that I'm interested in, I would just simply hit apply. And as you see, now I have all of these KPIs listed, and again, if I'd like to learn a bit more about them, I would just hover above the info point to learn more about that KPI. Now, before we actually jump into creating the automatic campaign, I'd like to show you how we can create a portfolio. So to create a portfolio, all you have to do is go to the left-hand side over here and click Create Portfolio. Now, the first thing that you have to do over here is to, in fact, name the portfolio. Now, we have a few suggestions already for you, but before we actually start, I would like to remind you what are the benefits of using portfolios. So first of all, it gives you multi-brand management. So you can group your campaigns by brand, business line, or season to reflect your marketing needs. Second, it allows you to use budget caps. So you can define a date range or recurring monthly budget cap and ensure your campaign spends don't exceed your desired marketing needs. Now, this is very helpful, especially during a seasonal campaign. Now, third of all, this allows you to track performance. You can review portfolio performance and create reports for campaigns by portfolio. And last but not least, it allows you for a more streamlined billing. So simplifying billing details broken down by aggregated portfolio spend in each billing cycle. So in this particular case, while I'm creating my portfolio for an automatic campaign during the Q4 shopping season, I will simply name it Q4. I will simply name it Q4 2022 campaigns. And that already gives me the information which I need, which is which specific campaigns will I find in this portfolio that I'm creating, and which ones will I be allocating to this portfolio. So now that I've typed in the name, all I have to do is hit Create Portfolio. And as you see, this portfolio has now been created. Now, there are two things that I could do here. So first of all, I could add some already existing campaigns to this portfolio. However, in this particular case, I'm launching a new automatic campaign. It's related to the launch of a new product by our fictitious brand Modernata Furniture, which specializes, as you can imagine, in furniture. So in this particular case, I'll be actually creating my automatic campaign within this portfolio. So to do so, all I have to do is click over here, the blue button, Create Campaign. And that immediately takes me to the section where I can select the type of campaign. Now, as you see here, the language has switched to Spanish. Now, of course, we want to keep it in English. However, this is, I think, a useful opportunity for you to also see where you can change the language settings of your advertising console. So all you have to do to change language is go to the right-hand side where you can see this little person icon, click on that, and over here in the drop-down menu, you can select any language that you are interested in. So for us, it's going to be English UK. After selecting the language, all you have to do is click the button that is right next to it. Click on that. And as you see, we have now successfully changed the language back to English. So that's just a quick, useful tip in case this ever happens during the time when you're creating campaigns on your advertising console. So now let's jump into actually creating the campaign. So the campaign that I'll be creating will be an automatic campaign. Thus, I'll be choosing a sponsored products campaign. So all I have to do is click Continue. And as you see now, I am in the campaign creator. And the first thing that I have to do here is select an ad group name. Now, this ad group, just to be clear, the name of it will only be visible to you. However, it is important for you to name it in a way that helps you identify what product will you be advertising within this ad group and what strategy you have chosen. So in this particular case, I am naming my ad group new product because I am launching a new product. And I will specify what is this new product. So for me, it's going to be an accents chair. Okay, so we have already the name of the ad group. And again, I'd like to remind you that if you're looking for some more additional information, all you have to do is hover above the info point to learn more, or you can also click the blue question mark. If you click that, it opens up a little pop-up window with some tips and useful information. Let's close that for now and let's continue. So as you know, the product that I will be advertising is my new product, which is the accent chair. So now in this stage, I have to add the products that I will be advertising. Now, because I don't actually advertise, I don't actually sell any products on Amazon, I'll just use the search bar to find a product that I can use for this demonstration. So I just typed in accent chair, and as you see here, we have a few random products. So I'll just select the first one, click add, and now this is the product that I'll be advertising. Now, of course, you can add multiple products. So for example, I could add another accent chair and another one as well. So these three products now have been selected by me to be the products that I'll be advertising. And I found them through the search bar. However, I could also find my products through entering a list. Now, in this enter list feature, I would simply input the ASINs of my products. ASINs are the alphanumeric codes which are allocated to each product, and you can find them on the product detail pages. Over here, we can also see them right below the products that we are advertising. So all I have to do is enter the ASINs and separate them with commas. So for example, let's copy this ASIN, temporarily let's delete it from the list of advertised products. I'll copy and paste it here, click add, and as you see, this product now has been added. Now, another option that you have is to upload a list. So all you have to do is download the CSV template, upload all your ASINs that you would like to advertise, and then drag and drop this file already completed by you with the ASINs you want to advertise in this section over here. And Amazon will copy them to the advertised products list. So now that we've added the products that we want to advertise, let's go to targeting. Now, as I mentioned before, this is going to be an automatic targeting campaign. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I will be choosing automatic targeting. So in this particular case, Amazon will target keywords and products that are similar to the products in my ad. Next, what I have to choose are the bids. Now, as you see here, I have set a default bid for all the targeting groups. However, I could actually click on Set Bids by Targeting Group and select specific bids for each match type for each targeting group. Now, to explain to you how this actually works, it's divided into two sections. So close match and loose match pertain to keywords, whereas substitutes and complements pertain to products. For close match, Amazon will match keywords that are closely related to the advertised product. In loose match, Amazon will match keywords that are loosely related to the advertised product. In the next section, pertaining to product specifically, product targeting, we have substitutes. And here, Amazon will target products which are substitutes for our. If the advertised product is an accent chair, Amazon could use a substitute of a different chair. And the last section that we have, again pertaining to product targeting, is complements. And in this targeting group, Amazon will match complementary products, which somehow complement the products that we are advertising. So for example, again, if the products that I'm advertising is a chair, a complementary products here might be a cushion or a chair pillow, things like that. So we will be using all of these four targeting groups. And for all four targeting groups, we can set a separate bid. And of course, we can use the suggested bids by Amazon. Or we can just simply use the set default bid for all targeting groups, which is currently 55p. And as you see, is again the suggested bid by Amazon. So for the purposes of this demonstration, because it's an automatic campaign, it's also a first automatic campaign that I'll be running, I will simply use this default bid. Next, we have the negative keyword targeting. Now, because this is my first campaign, it's an automatic campaign, I will in fact not be adding any negative keywords. Why? Because I don't know any at this particular point, and I don't want to limit the audience base that my ad will be showing to, or that my ad could be showing to, just because I have some assumptions. I want to really use negative keyword targeting and also negative product targeting based on insights that I will be collecting from the search term report, which I'll be showing you in just a while. So for now, I won't be using negative keyword targeting. Next, what we have is negative product targeting. Now, again, this is a great tool to reduce the advertising cost. It's also a great way to reach audiences which will be really engaged with your product. However, these decisions should be made based on insights, and those insights we will be able to find in the search term report, which we'll be checking out again in just a while. So for now, because this is an automatic campaign, I will not be using any negative product targeting as well. Now, the next part that we have here relates to the campaign bidding strategy. And we have three different strategies. So the first one is dynamic bids down only. And in this case, Amazon will lower your bids in real time when your ad may be less likely to convert to a sale. The second option is dynamic bids up and down. In this case, Amazon will raise your bids by a maximum of 100% in real time when your ad may be more likely to convert to a sale, and lower your bid when it is less likely to convert to a sale. And the third option that we have here are fixed bids, where Amazon will use the exact bids that you have selected. Now, because this is my first campaign, it's an automatic campaign, I will be using the first option, which is dynamic bids down only, because it is a bit more conservative when it comes to budget spent. So for the purposes of this campaign, I'll be using dynamic bids down only. However, if I was launching a manual campaign, especially during the shopping season, I would definitely choose dynamic bids up and down because that maximizes the potential of my ads showing to relevant customers. Now, the next section that we have here, which is actually a drop-down, is the bid adjustment by placement. If you click on that, you'll see two places where you can use a bid multiplier. So one of these places is top of search. So this is the first page of the search results. The second option are product detail pages. So again, because this is my automatic campaign, because it's my first campaign, I will not be using these bid adjustments according to placements because I don't have yet that information. I have not yet created that strategy. So for now, I'll be just leaving them empty. However, if again, this was my manual campaign, I might use one of these multipliers to increase the probability of my ad displaying in one of these two specific placements. And if I wanted to do that, all I would have to do is input the percentage up to 900%, and that would automatically upgrade my bid by 200% for this particular placement. Now, do remember that this will increase the possible bid that you'll be paying. So always use this example on your right-hand side to see how much potentially you could be paying. But as I said, this is an automatic campaign. So in this particular case, I'll be just leaving both of these bid multipliers at 0, so I am not entering any changes here. So the next part that we have available are the settings options. Now over here, I have to name my campaign. Now we'll be using the same logic as we used with the portfolio that we were creating. So we are looking for a name that's going to be clear for us, that immediately tells us what exactly can we find in this place. So first of all, what I'll be doing is I'll be entering information regarding the type of campaign that I have, and that is SP, which means sponsored products. Next, I'll input information regarding the targeting type. So that would be auto, stands for automatic. Next, I'll input information regarding the product that I am advertising in this campaign will be specifically about the accent chair. So I'll just input that information over here, accent chair. And last but not least, I'll input information regarding the strategy that I have selected for this campaign. And that will be launch, because my strategy here is to launch a new product. Okay, so as a reminder, this is only internal facing. My recommendation here is to use a name that is clear for you, which is especially useful if you have multiple campaigns running and you need to quickly identify what exactly is happening in each and every one of them. So the next thing that I could do here is add this campaign to a portfolio. Now, as you see, it's already added to the Q4 2022 campaigns portfolio, which we created at the beginning of this demonstration. However, I could also add it to a different portfolio if I wanted to, or I could simply select no portfolio, which means this campaign would be a standalone, and I could add it to a different portfolio at a later time. Now, the next part, particularly important, is the start and end date. So as you see here, the start date is always the date when you are creating the campaign. However, if you are creating this campaign for a future period, so for example, if you were preparing for a shopping time in December, I could already create the campaign and simply set the start date as someday in December. But let's leave it for now. Let's leave 18th of October. Let's leave today's date. Now, the second very important part here is the end date. Now, you could select a specific date in the calendar when this campaign will stop running. However, it is crucial that you are aware that if you select an end date for this campaign, let's say it would be April 6th, 2023. That means that on April 6th, 2023, this campaign will stop running, will be archived, and you will not be able to turn it back on again. So our recommendation here is to use no end date, because you can pause or stop or archive your campaign at any given moment. However, as I said, if you select a specific end date and you reach that end date, that means that you will not be able to use that campaign again. So our recommendation here, use no end date. And last but not least, we have the daily budget. Now for the daily budget, we normally recommend £10. However, during the Q4 shopping season, we recommend that you double or even quadruple that budget to be ready for those additional impressions and clicks that you might be receiving during the shopping season. And after selecting the daily budget, another option that we have available is to also launch this automatic campaign in other marketplaces. And we can do so simply by selecting the marketplaces which we are interested in, and we could also edit some of the products that we are advertising. As you see here, we are actually advertising most of these products in all of these locales, all of these marketplaces. So if I wanted to launch this automatic campaign simultaneously in these marketplaces as well, all I'd have to do is to tick the boxes. Okay, so for now, there's only two things left. I could either launch this campaign, and because this is a sponsored products campaign, that means that this campaign will be live within the next few minutes, or I could save it as a draft. And if I save it as a draft, that means that I can access it at a later stage to complete it and to eventually launch it. Okay, so let's imagine now, let's go back to the main page of the advertising console. And as you see here, the language has changed again, but I already showed you that that's a very quick fix. I'll just select English UK, change language, and we're back in the English language version. So let's assume I launched my automatic campaign that I created just a second ago with all of you. Now it's been 2 weeks since I launched that campaign, and I would like to learn some insights from it. I would like to see what exactly happened within that campaign. So what do we do now? We have to download the reports from that campaign. To do so, all I have to do is go to the left-hand side. There's a panel over here, and you'll see a section called Measurement and Reporting. So just click on that. Next, click on Reports. And this is the campaign report creator. So as you see here, I have all the previous reports that I have downloaded. And I could download them again if I was doing some quarterly or maybe yearly summary. But for this particular purpose, I want to create a new report because my automatic campaign has been running for 2 weeks and I would like to see what are the results. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click Create Report. And now I'm in the report creator. And first of all, what I have to do is select the report category. So here is what we would select sponsored products because we were running a sponsored products campaign. Next, we have to select the report type. So what I am particularly interested in regarding this campaign is the search term report, because I'd like to see what were the shopping queries used by shoppers on Amazon that were matched with my products, because I want to use those insights in my manual campaigns. So in this particular demonstration, I'll be using the search term report. Next, I have to select the time unit. Either it's going to be a summary or daily. I'm going to select summary, and then I have to select the report period. Now, my automatic campaign has been only running for 2 weeks. It is time to optimize. It is time to collect those insights. So I can just leave last 30 days because that's the only campaign that I had. Next, we have the name of this report. Now, again, this is only internal facing. However, if you're generating a lot of reports, you might want to figure out a way to have these named in a way that's really clear to you. And again, is going to help you with quickly identifying where you can find key insights and information. Now, for the purposes of the demonstration, I'll just use this generic name, which already gives me some information. I know the campaign type, and I also know what type of report is this exactly. The next part is the delivery. So when exactly would I like to receive this report? And also who will receive it. So of course, if I generate the report, it's going to be available in my advertising console. However, I could also use this feature of recipients to share this report with any other people, for example, my colleagues. So I can input here an email address separated by commas or spaces, and that means that that report would be also sent to those recipients. In this particular case, I'm not going to add anybody here, but what I have to do as the last step is set the scheduled time. So I can either receive this report right now, or I could receive it in the future on a specific date, or I could receive it on a recurring basis. So I could just simply schedule it, for example, as a daily report, a weekly report, or a monthly report with a selected end date. Now, because it's been 2 weeks after I launched my automatic campaign, I'm really eager to see those insights. So in this particular case, I will simply use the now option, which means that this report will be generated immediately. And the last thing to do over here is to click Run Report. And that means that this report will be generated right now. And if we go back, this is the place where I will find that report, and I'll be able to download it. I'll also be able to see some additional information regarding that report. So now I have an example report that I'd like to share with all of you. So if you please just give me a second, I will be changing my screens. So please bear with me. Please bear with me. I just need to find this file, please. So if you just give me one more second, we will be finding this file straight away, which is an excellent search term report. Okay, it's a minor technical difficulty, but we are getting that sorted straight away. And now I hope that this will be visible for you. Okay. Yes, we are looking now at the report. Sorry, it took a while, but we are now looking at a report regarding this automatic campaign that we have been running. So what I see in this report are a few information. So first of all, I see the keywords that were used by advertisers when they were searching for a product. So these were the customer search terms. And as you see, I have a few of them. I have comfy chair, I have a living room seat, I have chair stain remover, I have stool, and I also have linen accent chair. Now I also have some alphanumeric codes. You see B111, B222, B333. So these would be the ASINs, because in this automatic campaign, we were targeting not only loose match and close match, but we were also targeting complements and substitutes. So we were targeting both keywords and products. So let's look, first of all, at the top performers here. How would we identify them? So two KPIs that we could look at to start off with is the ACOS and ROAS. And let's see which one of these is actually healthy for each targeting method. So as you see here, in the first three positions, comfy chair, living room seat, and the ASIN B333, we have a healthy ACOS of between 22 and 27%. We also have a healthy ROAS of between 3.7 and 4.6x. That means that these customer search terms matched with my product have generated sales, and these will be definitely products and keywords that I'll be using in my manual campaigns. But I also see that chair stain remover and stone have generated a very high ACOS and an extremely low ROAS, which means that I am not only going to not be using these keywords going forward, but in fact, I'll be adding them to negative targeting, so they aren't matched again with my products in the future. And I'll be showing you that in just a second. Now, as you see at the bottom, we have two more ASINs. And again, the green ASIN, B222, has a healthy ACOS and a healthy ROAS. However, B111 does not. It has a very high ACOS and it has a very low ROAS, meaning that I'll be using this ASIN, this particular ASIN, in my negative product targeting, so I assure that my ads do not show against this particular ASIN, this particular product. So whenever you download a search term report, you actually see what exactly was the advertiser searching for. And this can give you great insights on keywords, which you can use for manual campaigns, on products, which you can use for your product targeting campaigns, but also it gives you information that you can use for negative targeting, both in keywords and both in products. So now that we have all this information visible, the next thing that I would do is probably launch a manual targeting campaign where I'd be using these newly found keywords, and I would also be using separately in a product targeting campaign, I would be also using these ASINs, these successful ASINs that I have identified. And in both cases, I would use negative keywords targeting for the keywords campaign and negative product targeting for the products campaign, using again these insights which I have identified here. Okay, and with that being said, we are approaching the end of the demonstration. So if you have any questions, please send them to us and I'll try to answer them live. I'll just get back to our advertising console, as that will be probably the place where we'll be doing most of the demonstration. Okay, we're back. So let's go back to the main page. And let's see some of your questions. Okay, I see a first question here. Where can I find the drafted campaigns? Okay, so that's a great question. So as you know, we can either launch a campaign or we can save it as a draft. So if you didn't launch it, if you actually saved it, all you have to do is go to the main page of the campaign manager and select drafts. So in this section, you'll have all the drafted campaigns that you have created and you haven't completed them for whatever reason. You could, for example, create some drafts for future campaigns to have them ready for the shopping season and just complete them at your own pace, at your own leisure. Okay, I see a next question regarding reports. Could you show again where to download the reports? Yes, of course. Let's go back to that section. So again, let's start off with the main page. So this is the main page of the campaign creator. And on the left-hand side, we have multiple options. We have brand metrics, we have sponsored ads, we have stores, we have measurements and reporting, creatives, and tools and resources. So for the reports, we go to measurement and reporting. You just have to click on that, then select reports.